Hi everyone, Tammy here. Welcome to my channel. Today is a Blythe Q&A with my sister Terry from Tapping Flamingo. She's over here with her Blythe. I have my Blythes. I have some of my Blythes here. We have our dollies with us. This video came about because she and I were doing a recording the other day on a collaboration video we were working on. And after we stopped the recording, we do this when we do the split screen. We do this through Zoom. So I stopped the recording and then we just started talking, and she started asking me some questions about Blythe dolls, because you're going to buy a doll soon, right?
I have it in the cart as we speak.
So she was asking me some questions, and I was like, ding, light bulb moment. This would make a great video. So I was like, okay, hold on to your questions. Let's record this. All right. So if it gets overly long, we might break this up into a couple of videos. I don't like to have, I usually like to keep my videos around 10, 15 minutes, 20 at the top. So anyway, with that being said, let's just get into it. Okay. What's your first
question? Okay. I have 6 questions, but they could, branch out. But the first question is, okay, I know, Tammy, that you've been a doll collector for a very long time. Mm-hmm. So how long have you been collecting Blythe dolls?
I got my first fakey Blythe doll, I believe it was August, but it was 2015. I have my very first Blythe doll unboxing in September of 2015 on my YouTube channel, and that was my second doll. So it would be, basically I started tuning into the dolls in the summer of 2015. They got on my radar. I had seen them before. In fact, I was blogging a lot with, actually you were part of the blog group, Terry. Remember that blog group we had? We would get links from each other, and then we'd have a weekly roundup of links. Yeah, back in the blogging days. And Jean Yates always had pictures of her customized Blythe dolls. Hers were customized, and at first, and she would include those as part of her blog, it was a blogging collaboration, just like a YouTube collaboration type of thing. And that was the first time I saw those dolls, and I was like, they are weird.
That's what I thought when I first saw them.
Yes, they are. They're just so different, On summer 2015, I started doing research on doll art and customizing and doll doctoring, like being a doll doctor as part of sort of a writing project I was working on. And I found the Blythe dolls again. So yeah, that's how, then I kind of fell into the rabbit hole there.
And the rest is history.
Yes, the rest is history.
So you sort of kind of answered this a little bit, but okay. What really drew you to them?
Initially, it was the idea that you could take them apart and rearrange them and change them, that you could take a doll and take her head like this. There are multiple pieces to this head. So you could pop the head open, take the hat, take the scalp off, change the hair, change the body. The customizing really drew me to them. And then also just their look, they were just so unusual. They kind of were like a weird Barbie to me, because their bodies are similar to
Barbie with a big head.
Yeah, Barbie with a big honking head. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. That I could see where that could draw somebody into her. Now, I do understand you've done a couple videos on this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. There are fake Blythe dolls and real Blythe dolls. So which do you like the best?
Ooh, that's hard. Well, honestly, I would have to probably say I do like the real ones the best, because if you look at my collection, I have many more reals than I do fakes. In fact, for a while there, I only really had a few fakes, but I like them all. But if you look at I have mostly stock. Most of my Blythe dolls are stock. I have a small group of fake dolls that I like, and then I have a small group of customized dolls. I love the customized dolls, but they just are they're much more pricey than the stock dolls, or they can be. It depends, and they are one of a kind pieces. So if I were to resell them ever, not that I ever plan to do that, but that's always something that's kind of in the back of my mind a little bit. You won't always get the same money necessarily with a customized doll that you might pay, because it's a one of a kind, and it tends to be kind of subjective as far as the worth of that piece of art.
Okay.
That's my feeling about it.
So do they customize both real and fake?
Yes, they do. Yeah.
Oh.
So they'll take like this is Heather Sky. She is a real stock Takara doll, and she actually has been customized a lot. A lot of people customized her back in the day. I think she's from 2009, if I remember correctly. And she's one of the Prima Dolly dolls from 2009. And so she was at the time a lower end Blythe doll. She didn't have a lot of fancy stock with her, fancy items that came with her. She doesn't have fancy eye chips. And so a lot of people customized her, but now it's really hard to find Heather Sky, and she's not a cheap doll now, because there are limited number of Heather Skies now. Because
I love her face.
She is a sweet doll. So, but yeah, so people do the stock ones, and then also people do the fake ones. In fact, that's why, here's a fake one. That's why the fake ones are so popular, really, because customizing in the Blythe hobby is a huge part of the hobby. It's much more. I mean, other doll collectors do customize, like people customize Barbies, they Monster High, you name it, a doll has been customized. But with Blythe, it's a huge deal. And so that's why the fakes are extremely popular. I believe that's one of the big draws to the fake ones, because price wise, you can buy a fake one for like $40 and then carve her face up and everything. Or you can buy a real one, which now a current real one goes usually for as much as $200. You might find them on sale sometimes for like $160-ish or something. And that's new. That's brand new in box. Like you can find them pre-owned also, which is a good way to go if you're going to, customize them. But anyway, so, when you do that as an artist, if you're buying a $150, $160 stock doll versus a $40 doll, that price goes into your final, amount for selling the doll, right? Because it's a supply. So that's one reason. And plus, I mean, who wants to practice on a $200 doll?
Not me.
Some people do.
I have a hard time practicing on a $50 doll.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, some people do. And you can even just buy the face plates. Oh, she's going over, girl.
She's like, oh my gosh.
She can't believe it. You can also just buy, that's another thing with the fake ones. You can buy the parts and pieces. So you could just buy the face plates and practice with those.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's another appeal of the fakes. You can buy all the parts and Frankenstein your own doll together if you want it.
Time for
doesn't want to cooperate.
She's tired. All right. So is it worth that much extra money to buy a real one?
Well, obviously, in my opinion, it is, because I've done that quite a bit. So, I feel it is, and I know this is, kind of a sticky point. Some people just, if you don't have the budget, you don't have the budget. That's just, in fact, one of the things is, I'll never forget this. I was in one of the first groups I found that talked about Blythe, believe it or not, was in Ravelry, which is a knitting and yarn and crochet community, right? And I was pretty involved in that because I was really, I'm still into the yarn crafting, but at the time I was much more into it. So I was very active on Ravelry, and I found a Blythe Ravelry group, and it was people who knitted and crocheted and stuff for Blythe. And I was investigating it, so I started asking them questions. And that's one of the questions I was like, how can they be so much more expensive than the fake ones? I mean, how does anybody justify that? And some person, not that she wasn't being mean, but she was just kind of really like telling me how it is. If she was like, if this is not an inexpensive hobby,
right?
And it's not for everybody. So if it's not within your price range, you shouldn't pursue it. And I was like, ooh, okay. Well, now I see what she's saying. Yeah.
So quality wise,
yes, there's a big difference.
Is there a difference? There is. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I do a video on this, but just like the nutshell version of that video, which I'll link it down in the description. The nutshell version is the overall quality of the doll is better as far as the tangible, the body's better, the plastic's higher quality, the eye mechanism is higher quality, the eyes work much better. And then as far as the long-term cost benefits, if you bought a fakie doll and you decide you want to sell that fakie doll, you probably could sell it for what you bought it for. You might be able to, you might not, but you'll never sell it for more than what you bought. Whereas if you buy somebody like Heather Sky and 2 years from now you decide to sell her, you'll probably make money off of it.
Okay.
You know, so they do increase in value.
Okay.
They do.
And
I have some that have increased significantly in value.
Oh, wow. Okay. That actually was my next question. The question was, I know you've done a couple of videos on this, but in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's yeah, they increase in value, and overall the quality of the actual physical doll is better.
Now, for the last question, probably the most important one, at least to me, is for a beginner, how would you recommend to start?
I would say definitely I'm pro fakies. And I think it's important for people to kind of have a feel for the fake dolls before they take that next step. I mean, unless you're, I mean, if money is no object, and it's for some people, it's not. For some people, some people buy $2,000, $3,000 dolls, and it's not a thing, and you know, it's not a blip on their radar. There are people like that. I'm not one of those people, but there are people like that. Nothing wrong with that. You know, they work hard for their money, I'm sure, just like anybody else. I'm not dissing them in any way. But I'm saying if your income level is at the point where it doesn't really matter that much to you, I would say buy a real doll.
Mm-hmm.
If you're an average person, like I am, I would say try out a fake doll, at least 1 or 2 fake dolls to get a feel for what you think and find out, you know, I mean, a lot of times we have an interest in something and then we'll get really into it and then we kind of like lose interest. This doesn't always, you know, just you're curious, so you check into it, you think you're going to do it. Like hobbies are like that a lot. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like, and I do that. I go in waves. Like I was cross stitching for a while. I bought all these kits. I made a few of them. Now I'm kind of like, I'm not really into it. And I have these kits I bought. Luckily, I only bought a few extra ones. It's not like I spent thousands of dollars on cross stitch supplies, so it's not a huge deal. But if you were to get a couple of dolls and then realize later, you know, it's just, I'm just not really, hobby isn't ringing my chimes. It's not a huge deal, but so I would say get a few first, and then if you feel like, yeah, this is really, these dolls really resonate with me, then I would say start shopping around for the real thing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I, with the help of Tammy, have been shopping around, and I've chosen my doll, and she is actually in the cart right now. I am fixing to be out of town for a month, so that's why I'm kind of hesitating to go ahead and order it, because it's probably going to be here before I get back, but
Yes.
maybe like a week before I get back. I don't know. Or it could, you know, because usually it takes about a month or so before you get them.
It really depends. I mean, most of the stuff I've ever ordered, now she's talking about getting a fakie doll through AliExpress. Right. And most of the things I get through AliExpress have taken around 2-ish weeks, like 2.5 weeks. Sometimes it's taken, I think the most I've ever waited is like 32 days. And the least has been a week.
Wow.
And with the way the mail is these days, that's like not happening. You know? I mean, I have a real Takara doll that is in customs now. I finally found out where she was at, and she left Hong Kong in April 27th, and today that we're filming this is early June, and she's still being held hostage at customs. They won't let me talk to her. I don't know when she's gonna come by. So she's been there over a month. It's been over a month since she was mailed from Hong Kong. So
Okay.
you don't really know. So you have to be patient. I would also say, I mean, if you don't want to wait, you've already picked out your doll and everything like that.
I picked out, and there'll be somebody here. I mean, I'm going by myself, so we got people that are.
Oh, right. There's people at your house. It's not like,
yeah,
it's not like
right.
it's going to be abandoned or anything. So, but I would say if somebody wanted a doll like in a couple of days or less than a week or whatever, I would shop over on Etsy, because there are people who are selling the fake dolls as doll supplies. I used to do that, and there are some good vendors over there that sell the dolls, like a doll like this, as a doll supply, because like I said, that's what a lot of people use them for. They take them apart and everything. More than likely, you will get it more quickly from an Etsy shop and plate that's in the U.S. versus China.
Is it considerably more expensive that way?
Not necessarily. There's a big range in prices. Did that answer your question? I think we got off track.
You answered all my questions. As time goes on, I will probably have a lot more, but this gets me started. Okay,
good. Well, yeah, I think this is a good little Q&A here. And like I said, you guys, if you have questions that Terry didn't ask, feel free to put them in the comments below. And if this seems like a fairly popular video, I wouldn't mind doing this on occasion. It would be nice, little back and forth kind of Q&A on Blythe dolls. Again, I want to say, put in a disclaimer here. I'm not a Blythe doll expert. I never said I was. I just have a lot of them.
She just likes them a lot.
I like them a lot. Yeah, I like them a lot. And yeah, I guess I'll just wrap it up there. Have anything else to add, Terry?
Nope.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put Terry's channel down below, the URL to her YouTube channel down below. If you're into crafting and beading and jewelry making, definitely want to check out Tapping Flamingo. And otherwise, please make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon, give me a thumbs up, and have a wonderful Dolly Day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.